Well, hello and welcome everybody to the 100K Hairstylist podcast. It is a pleasure to be with you today, and I am super stoked because this episode is all about building your brand as a hairstylist. So, if you're on this show, I'm going to assume that you're looking to grow your business as a beauty professional, and establishing your personal brand is a great place to start. Now, not having an established personal brand will generalize you as a hairstylist and ultimately hinder your earning potential. So today, I am going to be sharing with you some of the select information from my signature course, the Hairstylist Growth Accelerator. It's helped countless of hairstylists grow their business and become uber successful, and I want that for you too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right on in to the juicy deets of this podcast. So let's go. So number one, the first thing I would love for you guys to think about is where you are at right now in your career. So think about where you're at currently. Do you have a specialization? Do you have a brand going for you right now currently? And most importantly, where you're at currently, the salon that you're in, does this support your future goals? Something to really think about there. A lot of people have a tendency to get stuck in generalization and they blame it on their circumstance, but your circumstance can change. The salon that you're in, the environment that you're in, can shift and change depending upon what your goals are. So really think about that. Does the area and the salon that you're in currently support your future goals? And so with all that said, I want to talk a little bit about what we call market pay. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that my partner is or I should say husband, is a compensation professional. So what he does for a living is determine what people should get paid based upon many different factors. But market pay essentially is determining what people are getting paid based on the area, the market that they live in. So all the time, I will see online hairstylists tooting that they are a 100K hairstylist. And this could be 100% true. By no means do I want to diminish that at all. But does this mean that they're making more than somebody who is in a different area making 60K a year? Not necessarily. And allow me to explain for a moment, okay? Now, a lot of times we'll see hairdressers kind of get this chip on their shoulder and a very almost, for lack of better words, condescendence about being this 100K hairstylist. And you worked hard to get to where you are. So there isn't any, there isn't any bringing that down. That's for sure. Everybody works super hard to get to where they're at. But sometimes you are making more money than somebody who is in a different area. So for example, I live in the suburbs of Chicago. So the market pay here is much different than, say, somebody who is working in downtown Chicago. And here's the reason why. If I lived downtown, my cost of living is going to be much higher than if I lived in the suburbs. My rent is going to be higher, my taxes are going to be higher, my purchases for food and just general expenses for living are going to be greater than they are here in the suburbs. So what that means from a market pay perspective is that that person in Chicago is going to ultimately make more money than that person in the suburbs because their cost of living is higher. I hope that that makes sense for you. So a lot of people get really bent out of shape about, oh my gosh, I'm not this 100K hairstylist like so-and-so online. Well, really look at where they're from. Are they from, the Silicon Valley area in California and you are in, the middle of nowhere? That's going to make a huge difference in what they're getting paid in comparison to what you're getting paid. It doesn't mean that you're working any less or that you're working, that they're working any harder than you. It just means that the market pay is different from where they're at. And In my signature program, the Hairstylist Growth Accelerator, I give you a map of exactly where you should be if you want to hit that 100K earning potential. So if that number is super important to you and you want to have that 100K status, you can sign up for my ebook or sign up for the course, and you will have a map that details out exactly where you need to live to be able to reach that earning potential. We make it super, super easy for you. But I just wanted to throw that out there because oftentimes people will see other people's successes and they will compare it to their current situation. And I just think that that's simply unfair, because if you are living in an area that doesn't support that, that doesn't mean that you are not at that status or that you're not working hard enough. It just means that where you're at, the environment that you're in, the area that you're in may need to change in order for you to reach that status, okay? So keep that in mind. I just wanted to throw that out there right from the jump. I know that that is kind of a controversial topic, but it couldn't be any more true. So know that you are doing the best that you can in the area that you are in. So on to talking about the personal branding and how that's going to help you achieve your goals. So first things first, think about the services that you enjoy most, okay? That could be anything from, something that gives you life, that gives you that passion. And it could be balayage. It could be gray coverage as your specialty. It could even be creative color or hair cutting. I know people who even specialize in men's hair cutting. But what I want you to do is think of that service that really gives you life, that gives you that passion. And that's what we're going to focus in on, okay? And I'm going to show you a little snippet here of the HGA program. And this is going to lead us into our next situation here. Perfect. Okay, so once you've identified what that service is that you love the most, and for those of you who are joining me on Instagram Live right now, you can go ahead and check out the YouTube video after it is uploaded, and you'll be able to see this visual as well. So this is a visual from our signature program, and essentially what this is it's showing you who that potential client might be. So once you know what your specialization is, we want you to think about who that person is. What do they look like? What is their MO? And you can see here that this first woman, this is going to be that balayage client. We all know who she is. She likes that face faming piece and so on and so forth, that super lived-in balayage look. And then you've got your gray coverage customer. We know who she is too. She is your bread and butter who comes in every 6 weeks to get that color touched up and gets a haircut on top of it. Those are huge money-making opportunities right there. We also have your creative colors. These are those fashion tones that people love to get in their hair, the super high-maintenance hair colors. We also have the hair cutting, and I have a little visual here for you as well of that creative cutting. And so it really just comes down to what your specialization is and who that customer is and what they look like, okay? Think about who that person is. All right, so with that said, we are going to move on and talk a little bit about where that person hangs out, okay? We want to find out, okay, now that we know a visual of who that person is, let's think about where they go, where they're often hanging out. Is that, potentially that gray coverage customer could be within the local community, supporting local community events and community organizations. It could also be that balayage customer who hangs out on Instagram all the time. So it doesn't have to be in person. I know that that's difficult these days given the circumstances. It could also be where they hang out online. Are they an Instagram person? Are they a Facebook person? And once you have a visual of where they hang out, it could even be church. A lot of people get their customer base from church. I know people who do highlights and color touch-ups all day long, and a lot of their customer base comes from their community organizations such as their churches. So something to think about there. But once you figure out who that customer is and where they hang out, we want to now create a marketing campaign to go after them and get them in your chair. So if you are looking for ways to figure out exactly how to market people and get them behind your chair, you can go ahead and head over to gartnerjames.com/hairstylistgrowth, and we walk you through the entire process step by step in the HGA program. But I'll give you a few general ideas. I can't possibly fit them all into this, podcast, but what I can do is give you a few general ideas. So for marketing campaigns, it could be something as simple as a offer that you create for somebody. It could be another thing, finding ways to be able to create funnels to drive traffic into the top of your funnel all the way through the bottom of your funnel, which is going to be getting them in your chair. So if it was somebody that you attracted at church, the top of your funnel could be very simply approaching that person through networking through that organization and saying, hey, I don't know who does your hair, but I would love to get my hands on it. It has so much potential. And you'd be surprised how people are like, oh, well, actually, the person I've been seeing for 20 years is just doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm looking for somebody new to give me something different. And that's how you can open the door from the top of your funnel to now getting them into conversation and leading them right into booking an appointment. And you can pull up your phone if you have an application that supports online booking, and you can say, hey, I actually have an appointment coming this Tuesday at so-and-so. Did you want to go ahead and see me for these services? And get them right on into your chair. So your funnel could be as simple as something like that. It just is about taking the time to create a marketing system around that particular person who meets your target demographic. So I hope this has helped you guys a little bit in building your personal brand and understanding what it's about. Oftentimes when you see these hairstylists that we talked about earlier that are these 100K hairstylists, they have this same process. They have a specialization. Let's just say it's a balayage artist, for example. We see this very often. And what they do is they target people who fit that demographic. So oftentimes their MO is going to be Instagram. They're going to be taking to Instagram and showing all of their work on Instagram. They're going to be putting people through their marketing funnel, which is, hey, I found you on Instagram. That's the top of the funnel. And then they see all of this incredible work that this person does. And as part of their marketing campaign, these pictures then tell people, if you want hair like this too, book an appointment with me at the link in my bio. And so you can see how this just brings people from the front end all the way to the end of their marketing funnel. And it's an incredible thing. It really does work. And it is the biggest piece that you can create to grow your business and really start making that money as a hairstylist. So thank you guys so much for spending your time with me today. You can help assist out by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing for the algorithm so that this information is sent to others who are just like you who can benefit from it. And if you're joining the HGA program, I will see you on the inside. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Bye.